Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie, I am the Introverted Reader, and today's video we're going to be wrapping up the month of July, which is terrifying. July was a decent enough reading month. I read 8 books in that month, and I'm really proud of myself because it started off a bit slow, but we got there in the end. So let's just hydrate and we'll talk about the books. And if you've yet to hydrate today, I recommend you do so. Anyway, so 7 books are sitting here, but the 8th book that I read was on my Kindle. I'll just talk about that first and then we'll get into the rest. My Kindle's over there. I forgot to bring it over. But the book I read on my Kindle was Serpent and the Wings of Night by Cressida Broadbent. It was a fantasy romance. And it was super fun. It's still fresh in my mind, so I'm just bringing it up first to get it out of the way so it's not awkward when I'm sitting here. But yes, I read that and it was super fun. It was just it was everything that I needed at that time, because I'm going to get into it in a second. All the contemporary that I read, I was like, I need something fantastical, doctor, and I need one now. So it's basically about, right, it's a vampire fantasy romance, but our main character is human. The Vampire King rescued her after her home was destroyed, and he kind of brought her up as his adopted daughter. And, you know, she spent her whole life sort of like being like a walking meal to everybody. She's the only human amongst all these vampires. And she's the only human amongst these vampires, and you know, she learned how to defend herself over the years. She's like hardened herself, and she secretly goes out to the human districts and kills any vampires that try to hurt any humans. Sorry, my eyes itchy. And anyway, and then there's these trials that are coming up, and basically these trials, it's like this contest to see who's the strongest. So like all the vampires from all the opposing vampire houses are competing, kind of going for her father's spot, because her father is the Vampire King. So everybody's sort of coming for his spot and trying to overthrow him through these trials. He's the strongest, and she wants to compete in them. Her like Vincent, her adopted father, is just like, no, you can't. You're gonna get yourself killed. Like, you will not last. And she's like, no, I can do it. And she ends up having an alliance with this other vampire who is our love interest. I'm unsure how to pronounce his name, because his name is spelled Raihn. So is it Raheen? I'm not sure. Like, a lot of people are saying Ryan, and I don't want to say Ryan. I don't like the name Ryan. So, but anyway, she kind of has to, like, the two of them form this like uneasy alliance within the trials. He's like, I can help you. Like, you see it, because like they kind of got into a fight and she stabbed him. Like, that's like, tell me that's not how all great love stories start. But anyway, yeah, it's drama filled, it's angsty, it's just it's intense, it's steamy. It's like, this book was everything that I needed, and I've gone on about it for about 3 minutes now, so I'm gonna shut up. But I really liked it, and I gave it 4.5 stars. So on to the physical books that I read. The first physical book that I read was Golden Boys by Phil Stamper. This was the Introverted Reader book club pick. I have a review for this. I will leave it linked down below. All in all, I thought this book was fine. It was fine. It wasn't wonderful. It wasn't great. I gave it 3 stars in the end, but go watch my review if you want my full feelings, thoughts, and opinions and such on it. But again, it's about these 4 boys. They're best friends. They're spending their first summer apart from each other, and it's just all the stuff they get up to while they're out about doing that. So yes, go watch my review if you want my full thoughts on it. But all in all, it was alright, 3 stars. And then the first audiobook that I finished in the month of July was Son of Neptune by Rick Riordan. This is book 2 in the Heroes of Olympus series. I am rereading this as a part of the Olympian Along, hosted by Pris over at Pris Peruses. And yeah, like we're 2 books in already, and again, 5 stars. I love this series so much. It's so wonderful. It's the sequel series to Percy Jackson and the Olympians, and like I'm loving rereading this world. I'm so excited to get into Mark of Athena. You've no idea. Mark of Athena is probably going to make me cry all over again. If you know, then you know. But I'm so excited to carry on with this. I love this so much. If you love Greek mythology, if you love fast-paced adventure middle grade story, well, I wouldn't call this series middle grade, honestly, because our characters are older. So I'd say this is like borderlining on the teen, but like still, if this feels like it's your vibe, then it's your vibe. I can't give a synopsis because it would spoil everything. But the whole idea is that it's about, the series as a whole is about this boy, Percy Jackson, who discovers that he's the son of an Olympian god. And he has all these different powers, and he gets all like shenanigans, adventure, fun times. It's amazing. Like anything that Uncle Rick does is amazing. So, the next 3 books that I want to talk to you is about are books that I read for a video project that I did. It's one of the last videos I put up, I think, where I talked about how I read a favorite author's backlist. Well, it's basically I take a favorite author whose most recent books I've read and I've really loved, and then I look back at their backlist and I pick out 3 books of theirs that I haven't read before, and I read them and I make a video about it. I will leave that video link down below. But the author I chose this time was Juno Dawson. These are 3 books of hers I haven't read before. I've owned them for a really long time, and they are Wonderland, which I gave 2 stars, Stay Another Day, which I gave 3, and Clean, hold on, I'll hold it up properly, Clean, which I gave 4 stars. But again, I will leave the video that I made about these books where I go into a lot more detail linked down below, so go watch that if you want to know full in-depth thoughts, feelings, and opinions on each and every one of these. But I will warn you, if you want to read any of these, they do talk about very serious topics, like with mental health and at least, I mean, yeah, at least 2 of them talk about eating disorders and, you know, and like drugs and alcohol and stuff. So be very wary before you read any of these, but go watch my video if you want more in-depth thoughts. And like I said, I'm so glad that I read that fantasy romance that I talked about earlier, because after reading all of those, I needed a break. So I'm glad I mentioned that first. So, and then I went on a Grandmaster kick. You've no idea. I found this in Waterstones. It's volume 2 of the comics for Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. Look at Wei Wuxian in the window. Look at him. Isn't he beautiful? So this is volume 2 of the comics that they're printing out at the moment, or that they're coming out with. And like, look at him. Do I even need to say it? Do I even need to say what this is even about anymore? I feel like you guys are so tired of me talking about this, but I'm so happy that I found this and I read it, and I believe I gave this volume 4 stars. Not much happens in this, but I'm so excited for the rest of them to come out. I feel like all of my Grandmaster editions might need their own shelf if I had the space. And then I finally finished Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, the novel. This is volume 5 in the English translated editions that they put out. Because obviously it is all one novel, but it's huge, so they split it into 5 volumes. This is volume 5. I love this. I love this so much, and I'll tell you something, because, okay, so the actual story, like, look at them. Look at them. I'm dying. I can't. But, like, the actual, like, story stops at, like, less than 200 pages. So it's, like, page 180 something the actual story finishes, and the rest of it is just extras. It's, like, little short stories that the author put in there. And it also included all of those. See all those posters I have up there? If the camera will focus. No, it's not going to focus. But, all those like posters and postcards and everything that I have, this came with this as well. That incense burner chapter, if you know, you know. If you know, you know, okay? But oh lord, I thought the fantasy romance I read was steamy, but oh my lord, I was in my room on my own reading this, and I genuinely was like, I'm not reading smut, I swear. But 5 stars. 5 stars. This was so good. It was bittersweet finishing it. Like I always get this way. Like every time I watch and rewatch the show, I always get like, oh, why does it have to end? And then I'm like, it's the same with this. And it's gonna be the same with this as well. Like when the comics are all done, like, I'm genuinely gonna try and see if I can like find a way on my shelf to put all of them together, like all the novel volumes and all the comic book volumes. But anyway, those are all the books that I read in the month of July. 8 whole books, which might not seem like a lot, but that means I have read 50 books thus far this year, which means I'm halfway to my goal of reading 100. So I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back for that one. So let me know what you guys read in the month of July. I would love to know. Have you read any of these? All the videos that I mentioned, I'll leave those linked down below, like my review for Golden Boys and the Juno Dawson video, as well as all of my socials, my my Twitter. I'm still calling it Twitter. I don't care what he says. It's still Twitter to me. My Instagram and my TikTok. I'm really, although if you're a K-pop fan, you can follow me on TikTok, but like regardless, I mean, it's fine. Like if you want to follow me over there, I'm almost at 200 followers over on TikTok. So if you want to follow me over there, you can. But anyway, that's enough of me talking. I hope you're all having a good day, evening, night, whatever time it is you're watching this. And I'll see you next week for another video, which I don't know what it'll be, but it'll be something. So I'll see you then. Bye.